How about sunrise? How about sunrise?
Let's do this.
Dead of War.
Hello. As you can see, I'm not in the normal place. I am far, far away. I'm literally just relaxing in my kitchen, as you can see. So we're gonna do God of War. Enjoy.
Ah, yes. Dead of War. I mean, God of War. You know, that game that was once about Greek mythologies and destroying the gods and how the gods will pay, to being a game about killing none of the gods and all of the Norse gods being destroyed, I think. No Norse gods being destroyed? Just one or two? Are you serious right now? Oh my goodness. Many years after defeating the gods, mainly beating Zeus to a nice bloody pulp, trademark drink, just in case anybody wants to try to take my drink, Kratos now lives with his son Atreus, aka Boy, in a realm of Midgard after cremating his second wife. Which kind of makes you wonder, how did he pull this woman? How was he able to, hook up with her? You kind of want to think he's probably like, woman, I'm gonna conquer you. While on this very simple journey just to, honor his wife, Kratos is confronted by a stranger with godly powers and strength. He literally slaps Kratos for no reason, and then Kratos, gives him a nice swift punch, which leads to a uppercut, which leads to Street Fighter time, / Dragon Ball, / Superman versus Darkseid type of stuff, that type of stuff. Kratos literally kills this man after, he wanted to smoke. And if you know who it is, he's not dead. And right after this whole situation, Kratos and Atreus begin their journey to honor his second wife, Faye. Their mission? To scatter her ashes at the highest peak of the 9 realms. And along the way, they encounter many new people, some of which who recognize Kratos as a god, or the god that literally killed the Greek pantheon. That guy. Unlike the first 7 games, this one is inspired by Norse mythology, when usually it's based off of Greek mythology. Granted, it's kind of weird to see a Greek man in the Norse lands, you know what I mean? In which the game has very good looking backgrounds. While you hear about the 9 realms, you only travel to 6, unfortunately, but most of the game takes place in the realm of Midgard, Scandinavia to be precise, which, considering what happened, it is inhabited by humans and other creatures, and it is the same realm where the Greek world exists. Which is weird on why they have not clashed before, but by this point the humans have fled from where they live and probably are in hiding somewhere. We don't know, we don't see them. So a lot of places look lived in but have no people. The music in the game is soft in some places and bombastic when it needs to be, which is always satisfying, but the music helps tell how Kratos is starting to calm down, especially when it flows with what is happening currently on the screen, but nothing beats Kratos' theme. Also, while I still prefer T.C. Carson, Chris Judge does do a good job. Unlike previous God of War, this God of War is a third-person action adventure. It features over-the-shoulder combat, and the old God of War had a fixed cinematic camera. This game is presented as a continuing shot with no cuts or loading screens, which is amazing. Also, unlike the previous games, which allow players to jump freely at any time, jumping can now only be done at designated areas, such as at a rock face or a ledge throughout the game. You now battle Norse mythological foes like dark elves, wolvers, and dwarves augurs in combo-based combat and puzzle game elements. The gameplay is vastly different from the previous games. It was completely rebuilt. A major change is that Kratos no longer uses his double blades, the Blades of Chaos, as his default weapon in this game. He uses the magical axe called the Leviathan Axe, which is infused with the ice elemental magic. The axe can be thrown at enemies and magically summoned back to his hand, and it acts just like Thor's hammer. The same hammer I'm not going to try to pronounce because I can never pronounce it correctly. Larger enemies have precision targets, and throwing the axe at those targets stuns the enemy. The weapon can also be thrown at environmental objects to trigger a damaging explosion, and it can freeze objects and some enemies in place for puzzle solving until the axe is summoned back to Kratos' hand. The axe has standard light, which is done by hitting R1, and heavy attacks, which is done by hitting R2. Over time, it can be upgraded with runes to allow for magical runic attacks. So this does allow Kratos to be customized in a playstyle that you find best for him. The triangle button is also in this game, which allows you to use Atreus in various methods or puzzles or anything you need him for, especially after he's ready to fire one of his arrows into an enemy. Another new weapon Kratos gets to utilize is the Guardian Shield. When it's not in use, it folds up and appears like a vambrace on his left forearm. When summoned, it can be used offensively or defensively. It acts similar to like the Golden Fleece from the previous game. And as an earlier game, there is a rage ability, and this one is called Spartan Rage. But before I move on, I do have a big problem with the game. I'm gonna let my past self just kinda say it.
Now to my biggest goddamn complaint. If you guys have been watching this goddamn channel since, I don't know, ever, right? And I played Halo 5. What was one of the major issues or one of the 12 commandments of death I had with the game? If anybody remember, here it is.
Me in Halo 5. The Warden Eternal. So the Warden Eternal, he's a cool boss, he's a cool dude. He's cool when you meet him the first time. Then you're like, okay, he's a cool boss fight. Are there any other type of wardens or other type of versions of this guy? Nope. It's the same guy. You fight this guy as your first boss, your second boss, your third boss, your fourth boss, your fifth boss, your sixth, your seventh, your eighth, your ninth, your billionth boss.
Now, if I didn't give Halo 5 any quarter for having 55 versions of the same boss, which in that case was the same boss, why would I give this game a fucking pass? This game I fought the same boss 8 times. And don't give me, oh, he was a mini boss, Any boss with the health bar at the bottom of the screen is a boss. That's a boss in this game. Now, mind you, I fought the same boss 8 times. They all had slightly different skin colors, but I fought 8 goddamn trolls, and they all fought the same and had the same fucking death animation of you crushing them with the fucking pillar that they have in their hands. I thought I was gonna have to fight them like 3 times, 4 times. No, I fought them goddamn 8 times by the end of the game. I counted and even checked the fucking journal. That is very fucking stupid. I don't care what anybody says. That is not good game design.
So you finally got through half of this game. You got through everything that you can. And now to get to the main meat and potatoes, right? Kratos and Atreus have a father-son spat, which leads them into falling into hell. They escape, of course, and then they learn Freya and Balder's familial relationship, as well as the immortality spell that she casts upon him. Mimir realizes there's another way to reach Jotunheim, but he needs his missing eye. After obtaining it from Jormungandr's belly, who, by the way, accidentally ate it, they are attacked by Balder once more. But Freya intervenes during the fight, and Balder is pierced by Atreus' mistletoe arrow, breaking Freya's spell. Balder is finally defeated despite her given an opportunity to retreat, and he attempts to strangle Freya and forces Kratos to kill him. A grieving Freya swears vengeance on Kratos, and Kratos finally tells Atreus about his own past and how he killed his own father, the god Zeus. Atreus laments the cycle of violence, and Kratos tells him that they should learn from their experiences and not repeat the mistakes of their predecessors. A grieving Freya swears vengeance on Kratos, in which you're going to find out in the new game, I guess. A silent Freya leaves with Baldur's corpse, and Mimir hopefully suggests that she will eventually move on to realize that Kratos did the right thing. In Jotunheim, they find a temple with a mural depicting their adventures, showing that the giants renowned for the gift of prophecy have foretold the entire journey. They discover that Faye was a giant who had decided to stay behind in Midgard. The picture reveals that Baldur was after Faye the whole time, and Atreus was referred to as Loki by the giants. Kratos sees a covered mirror depicting what appears to be Atreus cradling a dying Kratos, but he chooses to ignore it. Kratos and Atreus fulfill their purpose and spread her ashes at the peak of the mountain, overlooking the valley of giant corpses. Afterward, Kratos reveals to Atreus that his given name was that of a compassionate Spartan comrade. Returning to Midgard, Mimir warns them that Freya came to see him in hopes of locating her Valkyrie wings and regaining her warrior spirit to avenge Baldur's death. He also warns them that the 3-year fog Fimbulwinter has begun, meaning Ragnarok is soon to follow. Eventually, Kratos, Atreus, and Mimir return home and slumber. Atreus has a vision that Thor will arrive at the end of Fimbulwinter to confront them. Run the game!
So, that's my review, of course, of God of War. Hope you guys enjoy it. And the next couple games, man. And I'm also playing through an RPG, so this is fun. So an RPG one will finally come out at some point. So, you guys enjoy your day. Y'all have a good one. Why are you still here? Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a long time coming of redoing this one video. I did not like the original one. I decided to do another one with this, and because of that, I'm truly proud of myself for redoing this and re-talking about this game. Versus the first time where I had a lot of things in there that I did not like or did not enjoy. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next episode of The Defeationist.